intrigued enough to watch the Death Note movie knowing better.
It's less we were intrigued and more like we were bored and needed to find something to watch and hate.
Hate with yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is one I've actually people have been bugging me about for a while, not just you two. Like
Mostly me.
Yeah. Just been saying, like, I heard from you two and from a couple of friends, like, have you watched the Death Note movie yet? I'm like, no. So last night I had some free time, I was like, alright, fuck it, let's see what this album's about. And I walked out going, that sucked! Like, as mad as I've been in a while. So,
yeah!
Then it was worth it.
There was a point where even Howard came in, like, is it that bad? Like, how'd you know? I can hear you yelling from the other side of the wall.
By the way, we did not introduce.
Well, it's Jasmine, yes.
Hi, I'm his happy wife.
Yes.
Yeah, she hasn't been on here, actually.
Oh, in the engagement video?
Oh yeah, I was in the engagement video.
Yeah.
You watched me defeat the Melon Lord.
Yes, actually have you on this side of the camera. I'm gonna occasionally like make a comment off camera every now and again.
Yes.
But, so this movie is that bad. I actually brought you into the fold. Welcome.
Yes.
My slow brain push techniques are slowly working. So Death Note. Do you want to start or should I?
I'm just gonna start to give my own personal background, which is I watched the anime back when it was new, and you could only watch it through waiting every week for some fan subs to come out.
DVD.
This was way before that.
Before the times.
The show was sold to me by an online forum I was going to as an intense cat and mouse game between two hyper-intelligent sociopaths set to the background of opera music and eventually a theme song that sounds like Japanese System of a Down. So I was completely sold on the concept.
Yeah, I can see that. Greg, do you have any background with Death Note at all?
I watched the first 4 episodes and the first Japanese live-action movie.
Okay, so you have some context.
Yeah.
I'm a recent convert. Like, that's this show that people have bugged me for a long time to actually sit down and watch. Kind of like the movie. Someone like, for good reasons they want me to sit down and watch this. So I was like, alright, finally caved. Star Wars, like, I don't really like anime, but I like this one. I'm like 13 episodes in right now. And the reason I'm only now watching it is because, like, well, I don't want to spoil the show for me, but then you guys, someone's like, you really don't need to watch it, because the entire, like, rest of the movie has nothing to do with the anime at all.
Yeah.
And after watching it, it's like, clearly said, like, yeah, just watch the movie, I can tell it clearly has no connection to the anime in any way whatsoever.
No.
This is as faithful an adaptation as League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh.
Which is better because at least on its own, that still stands as an entertaining B movie. You take the source material, this movie is still shit, regardless of however you take it.
It's like what was the way I said? It's like I'm being the most generous here, and even then, I'm still saying this is a very subpar movie to put it lightly. Like
that's still being kind.
Yeah.
Like there's one thing we can all agree on: fucking Willem Dafoe.
For like the 5 minutes he's in the fucking movie.
But at least he put in effort.
And he didn't even read the damn source material.
Well, that doesn't shock me at all.
Yeah.
But he still was more true to the character than any fucking other person.
The only one I'll give any kind of credit for is Elle, because at least he fucking tried in some respects. At first.
Yeah, until he started to emote, which I'll get to later.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Again, I haven't finished the show, so I don't know. Maybe he does later on in the show. I don't know. Does he?
Does he what?
Does he get emotional at any point in the show?
No.
No, they fucked that up then. Alright, yeah, good to know.
Yeah, as far as I could figure, it's very hard to describe him. It's the way I see him. He probably has like Asperger's maybe or something like that.
Possibly, but one of the people who made the manga described him as slightly evil.
Yeah,
and
I can see that.
That wasn't conveyed well through the movie.
Okay, let's talk.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I don't think the other movie did either, but they did in a way that worked.
Well, okay, let's talk about what doesn't work. And it's like, how do you take a concept that by its very nature invites moral ambiguity and still find a way to make it black and white and bland? How do you do that? Like, that was like the most shocking thing to me right off the bat.
Because they added limits to one of the characters.
Well,
that is the main issue. That light...
Okay, do you want to talk about Light right now? Because I have some words to say about fucking Light in this fucking piece of shit.
Light is played by the main guy from Paper Towns.
Is that who that was? Son of a bitch, that explains a lot.
That they really drew from a really good pool of actors.
Yeah, you can tell, because he was so convincing in this role. I did not buy him for a fucking second in this role. He's so bad. and it's one horribly miscast as his character.
Do you want to get the elephant in the room out of the way, which is
The
the fact...
whitewashing.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll put it this way, or as you put it, whitewashing is the least of this movie's concerns.
Yeah, like at this point, like it'd be one thing the movie was like
Good.
decent or even worth talking about as far as that goes, like to make that a problem. Like this movie already sucks, so who gives a shit?
Well, not only that, but when I was first hearing about
it's an
it,
extra slap in the face. Sorry, go ahead.
When I was first hearing about it, it's during the time that I was hearing about all these other instances of things with Asian source material being replaced by white actors.
Yeah.
So this was something I was wary of, but I understood, okay, they're taking this thing and they're adapting it to America. So by that very nature, you can't use the same social commentary, the same criminal justice system. You have to fundamentally change it.
Yeah.
So I was thinking if they're going to have either a white guy as the main person or just anything else other than Asian, they could have made it more interesting. What I wanted to see was the main character being black and having to deal with the fact that his dad's a cop and he's
Yeah, that actually would have been way more interesting.
Well,
yeah.
Then, Elle being black, I wanted to see how he would have experienced the prejudice within the law that he was fighting for.
Especially since he's kind of in between law enforcement and FBI, but not really part of either.
Yeah, and that just leads to a whole host of... No, apparently he's part of a secret organization.
Yeah.
Fucking S.H.I.E.L.D. is in this movie now, for whatever reason. But here's the main problem with the fact that, one, they try to Chris Pratt it, and you should not Chris Pratt anything that's even remotely part of Death Note at all. It's out of place. It does not belong. It's fucking awful. And I realized what they're doing halfway through the movie. I got so mad when I finally put the pieces together. Because in this one, it's a love story by people who have no chemistry.
Yeah.
And then I realized halfway through, because he's not even really, because basically it's this girl, what's her name? May, something like that? Mia. And then she's the one that's kind of more into it and kind of wants to do more with it. It's like, well, why is not even doing all this shit? Yeah. Son of a bitch! They're using her as a fucking scapegoat.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god. It's like, what the hell is? Oh my god, it's Macbeth.
It pisses me off because what made the anime so interesting is the fact that the first thing they changed in the American version, they immediately took away what made Light's character interesting in the show to begin with, is the fact that he's a fucking sociopath.
He has no limit to how far he's willing to go to either enact his sense of justice or to protect himself.
Yeah, well, my thrust with the characters, I don't think he even cared about justice to begin with. He just looked for an easy excuse to kill people. Because really, he doesn't give a shit before he gets the book. He didn't give a, in the book, he doesn't really give a shit much about anything at all.
He barely stood up for himself.
Yeah, just barely. I think he only just wanted an excuse to have power and pick easy targets. Yeah. Kind of like how Jack the Ripper went after hookers, same kind of basic principle. No one's going to miss these people, no one's going to care if I do this, but it makes me feel like I'm doing something important.
Yeah, and also that had, that tied in so well the whole theme of absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah, and it's but here, no, it's some dweeby little kid who's just a fucking idiot.
Yeah, and that was Light's most interesting thing, is that he is super intelligent, and he thinks a million steps ahead.
And the only time he does this in the movie, the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That was the biggest slap in the fucking face. It was wow, you have not earned the right to pull this kind of twist on me, movie.
Hey, he finally grew a brain.
Where was that an hour and 45 minutes ago?
He was busy thinking with his dick.
Yeah, which is and I realize what they're doing with the girlfriend character. No, they're doing this so you can still root for Light at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Which is by using a cheap, easy scapegoat. Oh, she's the villain. Light's still the good guy. Because technically, it was all her idea, not his idea. It's that completely defeats the entire purpose of the original show, of the original anime.
You're kind of wanting to see Light die.
Yeah, by the end, by the whole, I don't... We're gonna spoil it. I don't care because I hate this movie. The part of the end where they're both dangling off the ledge of the Ferris. I was like, fall. I was so ready for them both to die because I just end this. I don't care. Let me go, movie.
The only person in that movie that deserved to continue living was the dad.
Yeah.
That was another political point I wish they touched more on. The whole that whole cop, that cop be cop mentality. Because that is a very true thing. It's the idea it's cops hate it when you fuck with other cops.
So they'll protect their own.
Yeah. Now, admittedly, I felt that the way they did that felt kind of off as well. Like, that was a great idea, like, to think they could have put that in there, but it's just momentary. It was only there for like a split second, and it was horrible execution.
Well, it's like, this movie seems to go out of its way to eliminate any moral ambiguity that the concept originally holds. Mostly because in this case, where it's like, you're killing bad guys. In the anime, it kind of plays it off too. Like, he's still a criminal, we still have to go after them, but like, one cop will go like, well, crime rate's gone down since he's done it, which is kind of like the unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
Like, we still need to do our jobs, but at the same time, we also can't argue that it might be doing some good at the same time. So there's that moral ambiguity there, until he starts going full evil later on in the series. And here, all the cops immediately praise him. He's well known far and wide by everyone. And the fact that they should go after him is the unpopular opinion. It's like, no!
Yeah, that was a load of horseshit.
No! Fuck you!
It's supposed to be like a kind of a realization over time that this person actually is off the rails. Not just an immediate, oh, he's good or oh, he's bad. It's like a question mark.
Yeah, but like, again, the movie just wants to take away that ambiguity for whatever reason, which is the most interesting part about it.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would you do that? Like, the decisions they made here are baffling to me.
Also, I still don't understand why they had the scene where his dad talked on camera, and when Elle talked on camera. Neither of those made sense in the context of what characters should really be doing in these situations.
Or why Elle showed his face.
Yeah.
Or why he...
Confronted.
Or didn't he... Yeah, just like why he was
like, for people who are supposed to be like super brilliant and super cat and mouse, they make some stupid decisions in this movie.
Yeah.
One towards the, like, I can, like, kind of see why they went to the press conference thing in the context of the movie. Like, I can kind of get what they were going for. But, like, one scene in particular that made no sense to me, and maybe they explained it and I missed it, but there's a part where they explained early on where they can only, like, if they want to, like, cancel out a death, they can burn the page before it happens.
Yeah.
But you can only do this once. So there's this big thing where Light wants to find out Elle's identity, so he brainwashes his assistant to go track down the information.
One of two Asians in this movie.
Yes, one of two. And
thank you for keeping count. I was starting to lose track.
But anyway, he plans to burn the page after he finds it, so that way he doesn't die. But then the girlfriend decides to steal the page and then say, like, I want the books, I wrote your name in there, and now you have to give the book to me so I can burn the page. And I was like, well, why did he burn the page with his name on it?
Because she already took it.
No, he still has the book. He got it back. He looked at the page that had his name on it.
Yeah.
So, like, why didn't he just burn it? That made no sense to me.
No. I remember now. What happened was he saw the torn page.
That had the name of the FBI people on it, because Elle finds it later.
Yeah.
Right.
So
he saw his own name in the book.
Yeah, and it's in the book as it falls off the Ferris wheel and lands in the burning barrel. So it's like, it makes no sense. Why didn't just burn it and move on with his day? I don't know. It made no sense.
I mean, if that is the case, then yeah, that is absolutely stupid. I mean, I somehow remember that she had the page on her.
She had a page. It wasn't the page.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, because it was still in the book because of the stupid MacGuffin at the very end.
I thought because I thought it was the fact that there was a torn page in there. That's what kind of made him realize what was going on. And
that was the FBI page.
That was the FBI page because Elle finds it later in the calculus book.
Right.
It's just a fucking calculus book.
That's stupid, but I hated all the performances here, I'm not gonna lie. And I like the guy who played the dad.
Yeah.
Like, I like that actor.
And the guy who played Elle does.
Yeah, like, for what he's given, I thought he did fine, even if it's not the character.
Yeah.
The writing's just bad. The character who plays Light is so ridiculously miscast. It's just insulting. The whole girlfriend thing is so stupid.
I hated everything about Mia.
Yeah, like, that character was fucking pointless.
Let's see, she's a cheerleader who takes calculus, she's an edgelord who, she has a sticker in her locker that says, I hate stupid people, in the American Horror Story font.
Okay, one of those hipster douchebags.
Yes.
This feels like this is made by hipster douchebags. By like, look at us, we're so cool, our main character has blonde highlights for no reason. And
as if it's somehow relevant anymore.
No, it's just, this feels like it was made by people that had no clue what the hell they were doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, we like the name. Can we do everything else differently? It's kind of like when they originally wanted to make Green Lantern, they said, okay, can we do it without the rain? which is an actual conversation they had apparently.
Really?
Yeah, because that's what I guess Jeff Johns was then like that's what like yes, movies are getting fucking made.
Isn't that akin to trying to do Iron Man without the suit?
Pretty much, yeah.
Now, to be fair, Adam Wingard actually said he did try to attempt just like a 1-to-1 adaptation before. But I mean,
That
even
doesn't
then-
excuse this.
No, I'm agreeing. I'm just saying that I'm not saying that he didn't try to do it at first. I'm just really wishing he could have done what he did way
Well,
better.
here's the thing: if you're gonna make changes, I'm not saying you have to say they has to be to the book. It has to be exactly like this. My point is, if you're gonna make changes, make them interesting, make them fresh, make them new. Instead, you make an original story and make it cliche and high schooly and angsty as fuck. Like people making decisions that make no sense. Like the part that I was yelling at that Howard came right in saying like, "Is that bad?" Huh? Was the part like. In the anime, Light is so careful about covering his tracks every step of the way. He is so paranoid about it. He gives all these ridiculously articulate systems on how to cover his own ass.
Like the potato chip scene.
Like the potato chip scene. Yeah, that's a very...
The infamous scene.
The infamous potato chip scene. In this one, they talk about, like him and his stupid girlfriend talk about it openly in the hallway at school.
And also, he revealed the Death Note thing to her, like, almost immediately.
Yeah,
He's like, I can't show you this. Well, what is it? Here you go.
Because God gave man a mind and penis, only enough blood circulation work one at a time.
All the blood went to his dick instead of his head.
Yeah, and that explains why he's so fucking stupid the whole entire movie.
Duh.
But like this stupid romance, you don't buy for a second because the two characters have no chemistry with each other.
No.
And you can tell she's just riding the boner all the way to the death
And
the
she
entire
wasn't even,
time.
like, likable.
No, she's not likable. She's not interesting. There's something about her that's worthy of any investment.
As I said, this thing is literally a half-ass. This is basically just a half-ass Macbeth.
Well, it's like it goes back to like the comparison I make before. This is up with the Fan 4-Stick reboot to me, in that even if this was a good movie, it'd be a terrible Fantastic Four adaptation. But no, it's a bad adaptation and it's a bad movie, so you got that double slap in the face.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What I'm curious about, because I used to have a copy of the Death Note, like you just buy it from any anime store. I had it back when I was in high school watching this. I wish I was able to find it, because I know it's somewhere either in my garage here or at my parents' place. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't find it, because I wanted to actually compare some of the rules to see how much did they change, because they did change some stuff.
I'm sure they did. Like, they changed a lot of fucking things in this movie.
Because I don't remember that 24-hour rule at all. But then again, I watched the series of
Which one?
the one that you can't set someone's death more than 24 hours in advance.
No, I think it's 48 hours in the movie.
Oh, 48, whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah, cause I don't think that rule was in there before because, well, I can't say, but there's something that happens at least in a live-action movie that makes me think that they probably didn't have that in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, it's just more like this just feels like people that like the idea but didn't like the original story. But it's like, can we make this more cliche? Can we make this more angsty? Can we make this with more idiotic characters that make decisions that just move the plot along? They serve no other purpose.
It's like they wanted to make it a mainstream cliche high school movie.
But it doesn't work as a cliche high school movie. That's the thing. It never does, and it defeats the point of a lot of the characters. Again, Light is supposed to, and again, I'm not even saying you can't change characters, but if you do, don't make them more cliche. Make them interesting.
Because he was a typical high school loser. He had nothing going for him except that he was slightly above average in math.
Mm-hmm. In this one or the original one?
In this one.
Yeah.
In the original, he was exceptional in everything, and
yeah,
he was actually charismatic.
And again, people like me as a calm, normal family life, and that was kind of part of the appeal, because in secret, he's a fucking serial killer.
Yeah.
The fact that they tried to, limit him, given some, I use air quotes, sympathies, it completely it took away any interest in that.
Yeah, again, because the changes aren't new. They're not interesting. I've seen this so many times. Oh, this is a single dad, and they argue. Ooh, I've never seen that before since the Goofy movie.
That still did it better.
It did.
I cared a lot more when I saw Goofy grumpily driving. That caused me to have better emotions than this.
Sad but true. And so, there's nothing new there. The girlfriend is bland as bland gets. Light, and again, I felt, as far as, from one format to another, he was, the closest they got to a better adaptation outside of, Ryuk, thank you, I never said the damn name. And even Ryuk was much more surprisingly vindictive compared to the anime version.
Oh, but that's because he's chaotic. That's
true.
He treats humans as almost playthings.
Yeah,
that
true.
he will just kind of toss things at them and see how they react.
Yeah,
that's his MO.
Now, like, I think what I described it to my friend who I've been keeping updates since I've been going through. Like, he kind of reminds me of that slacker roommate who just kind of sits around and peanut galleries the shit out of you.
And just keeps eating your apples for some reason.
Just keep eating all your food. Like, hey, you want to play video games? Hey, what you up to? It's an actual line in the show, by the way.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you know. I know I said that to you.
It's been a decade since I watched it. I'm sure I forgot little details.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, what you doing? You want to play some video games? Oh, you gonna kill people today? Cool. Which ones? That was kind of Ryuk in the anime. Just like the creepy slacker roommate.
Here they definitely made it more like Loki.
Yeah, definitely more Loki-esque.
But to be fair,
which is fine.
Yeah.
Like, that's a change I'm much okay with.
Yeah, they made it work.
Because that's something that gives you, one, you have loads of fun playing it, and two, is like, okay, you could totally rework that character as more of a boogeyman type. I'm actually 100% behind that.
Because it was interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like, the other comparison I think of, like, look at all the Batman movies. And, like, for example, just like the Joker from Michael Keaton's Batman to The Dark Knight are so vastly different. You love them both because they're so fascinating in their own way. Here, this is, again, but then compare that with, I don't know, like, comparing the Human Torch in the comics from the one in the latest movie. Like, you couldn't give less of a shit.
Yeah.
Because none of what you love about that character is there. No. Better comparison. Jimmy Olsen from comics to Supergirl. Whereas, like, hey, you like Jimmy Olsen, the quirky redheaded douchebag, like, nerdy guy? Now he's a hunky black man who turns into a superhero and tries to win over Supergirl's affection.
Wait, what?
That's in Supergirl show.
I did not know about that last part. He becomes a superhero.
Oh, sorry.
It's gonna take. I don't really care.
Okay.
I was gonna say, or Jimmy Olsen in Batman vs Superman.
That's not even worth fucking talking about. You mean when they actually kind of had his name in the original movie? And fuck that movie. Don't even get started on that one. You want to talk about bad adaptation? I'm not going into it. I'm not doing it.
I love how you've hated that movie more and more.
It's when I watched 3-hour cut and they're just like, this makes it better, Yeah, but now I'm noticing all the flaws and making me more pissed off.
Maybe that just comes with multiple viewings in general with that piece of shit.
Maybe, but then it's just like, it answers so many questions, like, really? Because I had 1,000 more after watching it. Like, I can't do it. No.
Let's not get back into that.
I'm going to go into a rant again. I got to stop myself right now.
We can rant about Death Note.
Yes, we go back to Death Note. I'm trying to I feel like I've covered most of my major points. What pissed you off the most, I should ask?
Well, I knew that Light would be a dumbass. I didn't expect Nia to exist, and I hated her every second of the way.
Yeah.
But the thing that I think disappointed me the most is that L had a lot of potential, because they kept his mannerisms. They kept some of his tics. The fact that he sits like this, he'll hold his cell phone like this, or he's kind of weird. He loves to eat sugar. He's sleep deprived. He has all the things of he obsesses over a particular goal and he will do it well.
And he starts out fairly like he is in the original anime.
And then he got frustrated and threw a hissy fit that got himself screwed over.
Yeah, because like again, even like in the original anime, L is a constantly calculating individual, like it's a game of chess. No matter everything he does is some kind of a power play or some kind of moves. Like how's he react if I do this? Or how's he react if I do that? Like, even when he meets Light in the original anime, it's a total test.
Yeah.
A total test to see how he's going to respond. In this one, he just reacts after, like, well, Light is Kira, obviously. And he immediately just confronts him for no reason, shows his face.
At, like, the ice cream shop or whatever the fuck.
Oh, yeah, I'm just looking like, why would he do that? Why would he, like, at this point, why would he actively make it known that he was hunting him specifically?
Yeah. Also, like, the thing I liked from the anime, which showed that, yes, he's technically on the side of right, but he's also a horrible person who's doing, like, it. The anime highlighted the whole concept of do the ends justify the means.
Yeah, more ambiguity. Yeah.
And with L, he actually kind of threw someone else under the bus.
Oh, yeah.
With the newscast.
Yeah. Right earlier.
And the fact that in the movie, he just straight up showed his face. He showed all his cards except for his name. He didn't hide himself enough. And I kind of wanted him to do something more drastic, like putting someone else in a position where they might die.
I mean, because like it's not like audiences don't want this. We live in a generation where the BBC Sherlock is insanely popular.
Yeah, and he's a high-functioning sociopath, to quote.
Yeah, I was like, why can't we just do that except have an American adaptation? Why is that so hard?
Also, I will say, to defend Elle in the anime there, that is a very common cop thing where it's like, we know what we're getting into, and we will do
Yeah, but he didn't throw a cop under the bus. He threw a random criminal in there.
Yeah.
That was on death row, apparently, so he's gonna die anyway, so I'm gonna put him for news time, see if he kills him.
Now that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's what's in the anime. But, yeah, like, it's like, because even if, like, it wouldn't be so bad if the movie's actually good, but it's just insultingly bad, and this feels insulting to me.
Oh, yeah.
Is what really what it boils down to.
The way that the anime challenged my intelligence, because I could not guess what the next step would be. I was constantly being surprised by it because of how just calculating these characters were.
Here, there are no surprises, and you could see the twist coming a mile away.
And that's what made the movie insult my
And the twist
intelligence.
is so stupid. And again, it's such a fucking cop-out.
Yep.
And that's I'm sorry, I cut you off there.
I was just gonna say the movie insulted my intelligence.
Yeah, because it feels like, and I feel like I'm repeating myself now, but it just feels like okay, we like the idea, but we don't like what makes it interesting. Terry, strip it away, and that's what a girlfriend in there that's gonna become the main villain, just so we don't have to worry about the fact that our main character is really the main villain of the story.
And instead, also not take away the idea of what happens when power falls on someone who just doesn't know better.
Mm-hmm.
Because as you described me, I haven't gotten that far in, but as you described, Misa is a very... She's not a she doesn't really have a
I haven't really gotten to that character yet, so don't say too much. But
All I'm going to say is that her personality is delightful, and her death god is actually really interesting too, because she gets one herself.
Yeah, I got to the part where she just got introduced, so I'm familiar with that part at least, but I haven't gotten beyond that.
Because the thing is, she dresses punk, which is fine, but they didn't make her like...
Punky at all?
They didn't make her an asshole.
Okay.
Whereas in this movie, sure, she had the dark eyeliner and she had all the dressings of a punk, but she was also an asshole.
Yeah. They basically, they turned her from... What's the best way to describe this? They turned her from baby metal to Miley Cyrus a few years ago.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I think, like, the part that killed me was at the end of the movie, long story short, there's this big chase sequence that happens where the cops are actually there to protect him, but he thinks they're coming after him, so he runs off to this Ferris wheel with his girlfriend, and he gets this big, like, if you love me, you won't take the death note and all that stuff. And like, at that point, I'm like, can you both just die? Because, like, at that point, you're not at all invested.
Fall off the wheel, fall off the wheel.
Fall off the wheel, fall. Like, long live the king. Drop him. But, like, at that point, like, I so do not care. And I'm so sick of looking at this guy's face. A face who is so punchable. Like, he really doesn't. He's like, even going back, this character is supposed to be cold and calculating. Like, he should be a Batman villain. Like, but in this one, like, whenever Ryu comes in, he starts doing this incredibly girly scream, which I know you guys kind of found funny.
I thought that was funny.
I mean, I'm like, this is so moronic. This is so stupid.
I was laughing for the wrong reason.
This is our main character. This is the character who's supposed to think is capable of doing this horrible thing. He's going, ah! Like, the stupid derpy face. And I'm like, just like, no.
Like, we wanted Cartman. You gave us Kyle's cousin.
Getting back to the whole, if you love me, you won't take this thing.
Yeah.
The part that annoyed me, and I know I shouldn't nitpick a shitty movie just for this detail.
We've done it.
But, the fact that he said he wrote down in the death note when she takes it. Not
so
if.
he already knew it was gonna happen.
So that means he forced her to take it. She didn't have the decision at that point. If he said if, then she had agency.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, she deserved to die from the get-go, but at that point, she didn't make that decision.
This is what happens when you expect subtlety from a math major.
Or
someone at least copies math homework for a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
It's just something that's glossed over the rest of the movie. It's like, oh, he might be smart. Nope, he's just a stupid jackass.
That's why I said slightly above average in math.
Yeah.
Very, very
He
slightly
was doing
above average.
algebra. He's like, what, 16?
He wasn't doing it, he was copying it for someone else.
I know, but it's algebra level, which doesn't indicate that he's actually smart.
No.
Yeah.
Instead, he's like this rule. He really is such a douchebag hippie like guy in like liberal arts college kind of thing. Where it's like, how can you stand around with all these injustices and shit? Like no, stop.
Oh, I love the part where they had that monologue about him, like, oh, people can't have something to believe in because they don't believe in the cops or the politics. They need a god to look up to. Like, and they were doing that over the scene where he was like taking off Mia's shirt and they were like making out. It's like, oh yeah, that's totally.
When that scene was playing, I half expected Liam Neeson to show up and go, if you can make yourself more than just a man, if you can make yourself lie to you, and they can't stop you.
If only.
And I was like, all right, fucking Batman, whatever makes you happy.
Don't you mean Ra's al Ghul?
Well, I'm talking about from whatever.
I know.
Shut up.
I'm being a smart ass.
Don't be there. Don't be that guy. That's just painful enough already.
Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul was fantastic.
I just realized he's been in 2 movies with a Batman, and the other one he's a good cop and a bad cop. Lego movie.
Oh, that's right. I was like, I have to think about that.
Yeah.
Wait.
And in both instances, he was with Batman's superior to a certain extent, or someone who provided him with the tools.
In a way.
Morgan
Not
Freeman.
really.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Morgan Freeman. Okay. I thought I was about Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
Wait, Morgan Freeman provided tools for both Batmans.
Morgan Freeman is God. All him, Morgan Freeman. He was literal God at one point, lest we forget. But yeah, this is such a waste of my time. This is actually originally going to be the night we saw Mother! Exclamation point, but then I saw this last night, texted you and been, fuck! And then you're like, alright, we're doing this one first.
Yeah.
Did you get did your phone get GIFs?
Yes.
Okay, so
I saw the Wolf of Wall Street.
The Wolf of Wall Street one. There's this great GIF of just Leonardo DiCaprio going, like just like that, and that like encapsulated my experience in a nutshell. It's not Yoga Hoser's bad. I will say that very few things can encapsulate that experience.
Yeah, this is.
I can't even imagine.
I can agree that this is not the worst movie I've seen, but it's for what I've seen this year. If we can put it on the list, it would definitely belong.
I have to think about it. I don't know. Like that's.
He's seen way more worse movies than you have this year because
we
didn't see the Emoji Movie.
Oh God! Thanks for bringing that up.
I like.
We're your friends.
I do like to remind Howard of that occasionally.
Yeah, the poor bastard. I'm drug him to that one.
Oh, I have a thing I like to remind him about every now and then.
Which one is that?
I'm not gonna say it because you're already angry enough as it is.
Okay, now you have to.
Certain Cyclops.
Son of a bitch!
He's already
Motherfucking Person Jaxie 2. Fuck that movie. Yeah, the woman I did actually want to go see that movie. I'm so glad we didn't. I did at the time want to go see that movie, and it was like, yeah, we're gonna watch Elysium instead.
Wasn't great, but it was better than that.
It was better than that. Then me going on like, fucking
Never watch a horrible, shitty movie with your partner unless
it's Jumper.
that wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
in comparison.
The Bible guy was interesting.
I mean, like, I will say this is it's not as bad as Boss Baby.
Only cookies are for closers.
That's like the tip of the fucking iceberg as far as that weird shit goes. Or
To me,
Smurfs 3.
Oh yeah. I'm so sorry you had to watch this.
And Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Are you going over your list of movies?
I am right now. I'm going like, what shitty movies I've seen this year?
Thankfully, the worst movie I've seen this year was hilarious.
The Bye
Bye
Bye Man. I
Man!
keep forgetting that came out this year.
God, I remember that was such a great mood lifter.
But yeah, I mean, I can't think in any way I'd recommend this movie.
No, the only things I say it had going for it were some of the visuals were all right. I
The
like
decapitation was cool.
Yeah, that was funny.
Nah, those didn't really do it for me. Then I was already pretty annoyed by that point. So.
Yeah. It's like we found the movie had some pretty good dark humor.
I was really searching for something to kind of cling on to.
I didn't find it funny from a dark humor standpoint. Like I was more like, this is stupid.
Some of it was ironic. I'm not gonna lie in terms of laughing at, but it's like some of it, like The scream, I don't know if that was intentional or not. I found it funny. Like,
I mean, I knew it was intentional. That's what kind of bothered me about it. Is like, this should not be a comedic relief character.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think the biggest problem I have with Death Note is that it was a missed opportunity.
It was a missed opportunity. It just so completely missed the point.
And the fact, because what I really wanted like a better like examination of like the U.S. justice system and how like their personalities would have been affected by that.
And the moral ambiguity, especially in today's like climate.
Yeah.
But like doing this without the moral ambiguity would be kind of like doing Schindler's List, where I gotta be careful with this joke. Let me rethink that a little bit.
We said worse.
That's like that would be like doing Jurassic Park, but all the dinosaurs are just big lizards.
It would be like adding science to the Star Wars mythology to explain why they're so.
Yeah, but they would never do that. That'd be too idiotic.
I know. I mean, especially if the creator did it, that would just be.
That'd be like having Iron Man's suit made out of cellophane.
Somehow I see you making that work.
He would be the one to make it work somehow. There's like 30 layers.
You ever see Chevy Chase as the pillow guy in Community?
Oh yeah.
Oh god, I'm just imagining Iron Man. Have you seen like there are some people who cosplay as Gladiolus from FF15 and they'll have like cup noodle costumes over them? Yeah, I just saw that and I thought of it.
This episode is brought to you by
Get the ultimate flavor experience.
Give us money. Aye.
Have you seen the Final Fantasy 15 thing on it?
No, I don't watch Final Fantasy.
Oh my god!
I'll show you later, but basically the game has a lot of product placement and they play it for laughs.
Ah, okay.
Like, they know they're doing it, they're shameless about it, but at least the voice actors are having fun with it.
Fair enough. Alright.
Whereas in Death Note, no one was having fun except for
This is just a miserable experience all around. This really was. It was just dull and lifeless and just not interesting. For a movie about Death Note, it's massively disappointing.
So it's Lifeless Note.
Masaoka, as the main producer for this, how could you have messed this up?
The same way they mess up every anime adaptation they try. It's like, can we do this at everything that people like about it?
On that topic, did you hear about who they approached for directing the Akira movie?
I don't know what Akira is.
Akira.
Oh, okay. No, who?
The director of Thor Ragnarok.
Taika Waititi.
I have no favorite reference for Akira, so...
If it's any... Well...
Akira, we have to show him this.
Yeah. And now, admittedly, based on what I've seen from the trailer of Thor Ragnarok, Granted, it's supposed to be way more serious, but I think if that movie makes us feel good, then I'll have hope for it.
Okay.
Although they're very different in tone, because Thor Ragnarok looks like it's trying to have fun, whereas Akira, you aren't supposed to be having fun during it.
Okay. So that feels like it should be more Schindler's List than Thor 3.
To a certain extent.
So I think I can't think of anything else to talk about. You guys got anything else?
Just don't even bother with this movie.
Yeah.
Don't even watch it ironically.
Yeah, like I said, as I could see as a movie, it was subpar. As an adaptation, it's absolute shit.
As an adaptation, this is one of the worst adaptations I've ever seen. Like, and that's saying something, because I've seen some pretty shitty adaptations, but off the top of my head, it's hard to think of many.
Best way to...
Fan Stick, of course, is one, but...
It's like, this is on par with, like, the later Resident Evil movies.
And I'm not counting remakes of old crappy TV shows.
Yeah.
So Chips. Well, I guess Chips would be one, too. I forgot that came out this year, fuck.
I do think that it's worth watching the Japanese live-action version of Death Note. Although they changed things, they still kept it interesting.
And I like how they handled the ending based on what I read a lot better.
Yeah.
Well, again, I haven't seen that, so I haven't watched the other live-action ones. I just know that this one left me really mad and really sad on the inside, and I'm still getting over it, clearly. So, yeah. So, the next couple days, we'll check out Mother. Woo. And then I gotta make time to go see American Assassin. But Kingdom comes out this Friday.
Yay!
So that makes me really excited.
I've been hearing some mixed reviews, but I don't give a shit.
I've heard it's a shit ton of fun.
Yeah, it's like
from the critics I respect.
Yeah,
so.
people are basically from what I've seen, it's like they're saying it's more of the same. I was like, and in this case, that's not a problem.
Like, yeah, and that's like saying, Lord of the Rings 2 is way too much like Lord of the Rings 1.
It's called consistency.
Yeah. Why aren't there spaceships?
Also, that reminds me, you got that article I sent you, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Please
I would
pick Matthew Vaughn for the next Superman movie.
Lewis also said he wants to do another he wants to direct a Fantastic Four movie too.
Please.
So either one, we all would win probably. Because if anyone could do a good Superman or Fantastic Four movie, it'd be Matthew Vaughn. So God knows he pretty much revitalized the X-Men franchise.
Yeah.
So I'd be down for that. All right, so I think it's all we got. So see you later.
Bye.
Oh, and thank you for joining us, Jasmine. By the way, I want to point that out.
No problem.
Where's the button on this?
All right, time for guy number 2 to do this.
Oh, here we go.